Dads After Dark is part of the Nintendo Dads After Dark production, which means it's after dark, which means your kids maybe should be in bed because this isn't appropriate content for them. And I don't want to judge parenting. I'm not judging parenting. You do you. But yeah, viewer discretion is advised.
Shut up and sit down.
What is going on, dads, and welcome to episode 1 of the Dads After Dark show, recorded on January 5th, 2020. We're your hosts, Drew and John, and thank you for joining us tonight for some Nintendo and chill. John, what are you doing tonight? What is going on? Welcome, how are we?
Drew, this feels weird. We're not doing a mayhem. What are we doing here, Drew?
You know, I'm happy to be here. I'm excited for this new adventure that we have going on. It's nice it's nice for you, John. You don't have to worry about the video and the editing and all that nonsense.
Oh my gosh. It's just going to be amazing. I love audio. Audio, marry me.
So what's been going on in your world lately, John, about some video gaming? I mean, what's new?
I started playing a game this week, and I'm going to be one of those people that I want to work on my backlog, right? We're always talking about, gotta work on the backlog, I can't deal with new games.
Well, I never understand you guys. You're just going to play one game, John, and play it through and then start one. None of this backlog shit. I don't like it. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Well, but that's the thing is, we are now in a drought. There's nothing that's really been out. December was kind of a drought, except for, I think, Shovel Knight. And we got a new game coming in a couple weeks, but in the interim, there hasn't been anything. That is true. Not everyone has anything until Animal Crossing. So, but I started a game called Thumper this week, and this is a game that I bought. There was back in the day, I would buy every game that was on limited run. So if limited run was like, hey, we're putting out this game physically on Switch, I just bought it, and it was a phase that lasted 4 months or so.
And one of those buy every game.
I know I've been much better about my game purchases. I make it a rule now. I only buy the game if I'm ready to start playing it.
Okay.
And that's actually worked for me. But Thumper was a game that came out from Limited Run, and I bought it, and I think it's been sitting on my shelf for almost a year. And it was just sitting on my backlog, and I started it up. This game is crazy. I don't know if anybody out there has played this game before. Drew, have you played this game?
I don't know what it is, John. The only thing I can keep thinking of is the damn rabbit from Bambi. So you're going to have to give me a little bit of a 5 seconds.
It is not the rabbit from Bambi. I will say, and I say this, and I'm not trying to exaggerate, this game is memorable. I did not know what to expect. I had heard that it's a rhythm game, and I love rhythm games. I played DDR. I love DDR. I love Just Dance. I love Elite Beat Agents. I love rhythm games. This game is something different. This game is nuts. And I just wanted to talk about it for a minute. So Thumper is a game where you're on a track. You look like an insect car or something like that. There's a whole bunch of levels, and it's a rhythm game. But man, it feels like you're driving 500 miles per hour on a curvy highway. That's what this game feels like. And when I play this game, half of me is stop playing this game. Stop it. Why are you playing? This game is so hard. And then the other half of me just can't stop playing.
Okay, I'm looking at some images now. All right.
No image, Drew, no image is going to do this game justice. This game feels, like I said, it feels like you're driving on a highway at 500 miles per hour with cars in your way, and you make one wrong move and you go crashing into a wall and you're dead.
Kind of reminds me of Tron. The way I'm looking at it.
There's just something about this game. I did not think I'd get past the first stage, and then I got past the first stage. There's boss levels in these, which is unusual.
Tiki demon looking monster.
Yeah, he's all freakish. So you're driving on this track, and the cool part about it is this isn't some static 3D world. The track is kind of dynamic. It'll change based on how you're playing. So let me just go for an example, let's take a boss battle, right? It's the little tiki thing that you're seeing. they'll send these little green flashing marks on the ground, and as you go over them, you need to hit the button. There's only one button in the game,
I like
and
that.
if you do play this game, the button is A. I would map it to like ZR. I think when you're playing a rhythm game and you need to just boom, 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 and it's frantic.
I don't know about
I
that.
like to press. I don't know. I like to press down on the shoulder button. A is like you're pushing the system away from you, and it's.
So let me ask you this question: Thumper versus One More Jump. Which one's
Thumper.
better?
I mean,
Really?
Thumper is incredible. One More Jump was one of like we played that game. It was addictive and
I
everything.
played that game for like 10 hours.
It was stressful and it wasn't that exciting. Thumper has just, I mean, throw some headphones on and listen to the game. It is, and it's called Thumper because the music is bumping, man. It's like some bass to it. And
All right.
I'm telling you, so this boss will send out these green pulses. You press the button on them, and then after you do like 4 or 5 or 6, there'll be a flashing one. You press it, and it just sends out a shot at the little tiki guy, right? And generally with each boss, you have to do this 4 times. You get 4 different tracks. They are so hard. Somehow I am at level like 6-19 or something like that. I keep waiting for myself to hit the wall, and I haven't. It has consumed my life this week, and when we're done here, I'm gonna go play it some more, and it's just incredible. It's incredibly hard. If you have this game, if anybody else has this game, give it a try. It is just it's memorable. You're never gonna forget this game. You will play so many games that that will come and go, and you'll forget. No big deal. One more jump. This game you will remember, and I highly recommend it. And I hope to do a review on this at some point. But I'm only going to review it if I finish it, because we're the dads that finish.
We finish all right. We finish everywhere. Now I'm glad you're excited about this. I'm never gonna play it. I'm gonna be honest with you. No, I'm just not.
What do you play anyway? You don't even play that much, Drew.
I don't. You know what? I'm sad, John. Let me tell you a little story. I'm sad because I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, and they're growing up, John. They're getting big, right? They're getting older. And what really upsets me about these kids getting older is they do not nap, John. They don't nap anymore. And you want to know why that makes me upset? Because those bastards not napping means I don't get my 2 hours of peace and quiet every Saturday and Sunday to video game. I'm losing video game time. I'm not happy about it.
Priorities, Drew. Priorities.
But I have been balls deep on The Witcher, and I am into it. I'm probably about 17 hours in. I'm so into this genre, story, whatever you want to call it. I started watching the Netflix show. I'm like living and breathing The Witcher.
It's a Witcher life.
I've always been fascinated with exploring the world of a video game, but specifically I love the gloominess and the sci-fi and that little bit of medieval mixed with some magic and fantasy. That's always been and it has all of these things built into it. The game itself, I don't need to get into details. A lot of people have been playing it. It's just well done. I mean, obviously it's won a lot of awards, but even the TV show, great, love it. So far, no spoilers. I was a little nervous about am I going to spoil the game or vice versa, but I said whatever. Let's just get after it. Let's just see what happens.
Drew, I gotta know, what's up? Is there nudity?
Oh, there's nudity, John. There's I think the first episode, the Witcher goes to this temple. It's very Game of Thrones-ish in a way, and they go to this tower, and this tower is just a wizard. The guy lives in this tower as a wizard, and there's just naked women walking around everywhere. I don't know what he does with these women and what they do. They're kind of like picking berries and just doing weird shit. But I'm into it. I mean, I was into it. I was like, I wish I was that wizard. I wish I was there. But yeah, there's nudity. There's some scenes.
I was that old
wizard. You know what, John? I do have to tell you though, the women did have shins. I know you were very concerned about that. They all have shin bones for some odd reason.
I don't want to get into it because I feel like there's a spoiler. I started playing The Witcher. I saw the freakishly small Ciri adult girl, but I know that was a dream, and that's as much as I know. And I hope I didn't spoil it, but that was a dream very early in the game.
I didn't get that.
he says it was a dream. He said he dreamed of Siri. So now it's like, oh, interesting. So at least I don't have to see
flashback.
this. I mean, because basically I think they just got lazy with the model and didn't want to make a little girl, and they just made a shorter Siri.
No,
I bet
I don't believe that to be true.
they're obviously lazy. They didn't put a lot of effort into this game. So let's just
God.
be.
I think we need to get going. I think we need to start with our topic here this week. What are you thinking?
Let's get to the topic.
All right, John. So tell us a little bit about what this rumor is going around that Nintendo is trying to.
All right.
About it.
And this is one of those rumors where you feel like anybody can just make this up, but this rumor feels like
it's a safe rumor. It's
gonna
safe.
happen. Yeah. So rumors going around that Nintendo's gonna be bringing 2 more Wii U ports to the Switch this year. Now, if these are Nintendo first-party titles, I think it's pretty easy to guess what one of them is going to be. Drew, can you guess what one of them is going to be?
I mean, I think I would have to guess Super Mario 3D World, right? I mean, I think that's the obvious.
This is my favorite Mario game, I think, of all of the Mario games. John? Would I double dip? I don't know.
Did you double dip on New Super Mario or whatever the hell it's called?
I did, and I regretted it.
I did too. I regret the hell out of it.
Yeah, I wanted to complete the game, and then because I never did the Luigi part of that game, and I really wanted to play the Luigi part of the game, and they unlock it.
And it's not
from
that
the
it's
beginning.
a bad game. I don't regret it in that sense. It's just like, what am I doing? I own the game. I should literally go get, but it's like, it's the convenience thing, right?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I wanted to play the Luigi stuff, and I started playing the regular game when you did your contest. And I was just like, I'm bored. I mean, I had finished playing Meat Boy and Celeste, and it was like, I'm just not in the mood for this stuff.
Here's my thing. I played this game. I beat the game. I kind of remember it quite a bit. It's like, do I need to go do it again?
Yeah.
I think that brings up the point, though, in general, John, about ports. I think we should talk about this for a minute, right?
Yeah. Well, so what do you want to see from, what ports... If they announce these 2 ports, the 3 ports, what games from the Wii U do we not have yet that
that's
you
the problem.
Want?
They already brought over a lot of them, right?
There are a lot of them.
I don't know if I necessarily want any, but there's some good ones out there, right? So all of the Batman Arkham games, I've never played them. I mean, I'm not even a big superhero fan, but they seem kind of cool. Again, it goes back to your time restraints, right? Do I want to play a game that old and whatnot? Now, you could also think about the Xenoblade Chronicles X, right? So that one they did not port. We had Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the Switch. Number 1 is coming. I actually played X. Now, it's a massive 100-hour game. It's a ton of fun. It's amazing. It's one of those games though where kind of like Final Fantasy type do, right? So you're 40 hours into the game, and then something kind of drastic happens, and you're like, you were so comfortable with what already happened. It's like, do I want to change and start over again? So you have to again then push through. So, you're starting a brand new game,
Did you finish the game?
I did. I did finish that. I finished 2. Loved 2.
How many hours into X did you? I mean, how many hours did it take to finish X?
I want to say 70 or plus. I don't remember. I did a lot of the side quests, and I can't say for sure, but it was a lot. It was one of those large game. But one of your favorite games, John, from what I understand, is a little game called Nintendo Land.
Oh my gosh, that game was so good. That Nintendo Land is an interesting one. I don't know if they can bring that over because of the second screen. Yeah. I personally, I want to see a certain set of Wii U games stay Wii U games, because I think years from now, people are going to look at the Wii U and go, I'm a retro collector, and the Dreamcast is a very popular system in retro circles because not a lot of people had it or whatever, and it's like, wow, there's some really cool games in this system, and I think the Wii U will get that appreciation, but one thing that will stop it is that the Switch is getting so many of the ports, and don't get me wrong, I love that the Switch is getting these Wii U games. But it just makes them more accessible. You can play them portably.
But why?
But still,
if you're a Nintendo fan, you've played these games. So what's the benefit for people that didn't get to play them? I mean,
All right. Well, let me give some experience. Okay. So we got Tokyo Mirage Sessions coming out on the 17th. That's a game that I've never played. I've never played through it. I love Fire Emblem, and there's some Fire Emblem flavor in it. And I really want to play it. And I never played it on the Wii U because I just didn't want to sit and play a 60, 70, 80-hour game on my TV. So I just never got to it. And then sometime after the Switch came out, I remember buying it for the Wii U. I just always wanted it. And I still have never. I have it sitting in. It's still sealed. And I haven't played it because in order to play it, I got to sit in my basement in front of my TV and play it.
Oh,
But
sounds
it's
like a lot
coming
of
out
work.
on the Switch. Yeah, it's coming on the Switch, and now I can sit. I can play through a game like Skyrim. I can play through a Breath of the Wild. I can play through a Mario Odyssey. I can play with all these like long running games, and I can play it on my Switch. And hey, I'm gonna get some extra worlds. I'm gonna get some better graphics. I'm excited for it. But like you said, Nintendo Land, that's just a game that needs to stay on the Wii U. I think a lot of the games, not all of them, but most of them, you wouldn't be able to bring over onto the Switch anyway.
Oh,
I don't think
agreed.
we'll see it. But a game like Xenoblade Chronicles X, I would love to see on the Switch because I never played it, and I know how long it takes, and I would love to play it.
Yeah, I get it. I think the ports as a whole, though, I'm not saying lazy. It's nice. I don't know. I don't know if I fully agree with them.
Mm.
You know, and what I mean is, for example, The Witcher. Let's talk The Witcher. The Witcher's fine, and I know that's going to sound contradictory to myself, but The Witcher's fine because it's a game that was never on a Nintendo system, right? Even Skyrim, great. But when you're porting over your very own games, it just seems odd to me. Like it's almost like, hey, we had a system out there, but let's kind of forget that we ever did that. And I know that's a famous thing with the Wii U, right? Like let's just pretend that we never happened, and let's go pull those 12 games that were really cool ideas and burn them over, right?
But Drew, the Wii U sold 14 million consoles. They've already sold more copies of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe than they ever made Wii U consoles.
Listen,
Nobody had it.
I loved the Wii U, right? I loved that it introduced that pick it up and play on the couch concept. Now I hated when I had to walk down the hallway and take a shit and bring it with me. That I then got disconnected and I lost it. I couldn't play.
Everybody who had a Wii U would like test going to the bathroom with the Wii U. You had to like test the proportions of your house. Where could I could sit at the kitchen table and play. I can sit in the dining room and play. And
Bedroom,
I can't
no.
do it from the bathroom.
Yeah. No, but I honestly didn't mind the Wii U. Yes, was the game selection slim? Of course. You had to dig and really look. But I got to the porting thing. I don't know. I still don't like the ports of their own company to the same systems. I don't know. There's something about that. It's like I'm buying that game twice.
But now, you don't have to buy the game twice. You don't have to buy, and I get tired of hearing it. Like, not everybody has played every single game. Like, there's always this assumption that if a game is 3 years old, that it's some old game we've already played. Like, I don't know who you people are, but like, I haven't played all these games. Sometimes Wonderful 101 was a great Wii U game. I've never played it. Do I own it? Yes. Is the box partially chewed by a dog? Yes. But like, I haven't played it, and I know that game is 5 years old now. I don't know, but I haven't played it because there's only so many games you can play, and I want to be able to play it on a portable device that I can play in the toilet, and just let me be. And you don't have to buy it twice.
You don't. No, but here's my problem. I value my video game time. I just talked about it earlier. I don't get a lot of time to play video games, right? I like to play current games where my favorite part about video gaming as a dad, as a person, as a whole is this huge community. Something that the Nintendo Dad's created, right? We have Discord. We have all these people we have to talk to. I feel like sometimes when you play an older game, I mean, I guess I'm contradicting myself again because when you have a port, everyone does pick it back up. I like playing games in the current time because it's there's stuff on the internet about it. There's people talking about it. It makes me excited. I don't even like playing games that came out 3 months ago that I missed. I like to play games now.
Well, because you want that social aspect of I'm
Correct.
playing the game and I'm discovering it along with all of these other people.
Absolutely. And you hear podcasts about it and you read articles about it and you talk to your friends about it. That's what I like. I don't like just playing a game and experiencing it by myself. That's not fun for me. So I don't know. As a port though, like I played those games once. Most of them, not all of them, right? Like you said, not all of them. But I don't know. I'm
Have
not big into
you have
ports.
you played Zombie U?
I have. Love Zombie U. Great game. I hope they made a
I
sequel.
lo-
That's
I love it too, and I would love to play it again on Halloween. I'd love to. I mean,
so.
there's,
What would
there's
they? What would they
do you
call
know how
that?
many people bought Zombie U? Like 18 people bought Zombie U.
That's
Okay,
not true. I'm getting the
there's
numbers on that.
maybe I'm off by 5 or 6. Nobody bought Zombie U. That was supposed to be a Wii U exclusive. Ubisoft put a lot of time and effort into it, and it was a great experience. I think they got kneecapped by like an early IGN review, which gave it like a 4 or something like that, if I recall. And people just misinterpreted the game. They didn't understand the concept of survival horror, and they just, but the game is amazing. And I would love to see that come out. I don't think it will come out on the Switch.
No, it won't.
I mean, they did port Zombie U to, I know it was on PS4, and they called it Zombie, and I actually would still like to buy that game. They actually made some quality of life improvements with the game. I've played through Zombie U.
I love the storyline. It
Yeah.
was a fun game. It was a great
And,
game.
and
You're
the
right.
experience is better on the Wii U. There are some minor improvements there in Zombie. I would love to see Zombie get reported back to the Nintendo Switch. I would play through it again. I would be excited to play through it again and see how it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, not a lot of people have that game, and the Switch is a popular system. You're seeing a lot of these games have sold more copies than Wii U's existed. What about NES Remix? And I know that's on the 3DS, but I mean, I love that game on the Wii U. Star Fox Zero. That game, again, that game probably will never see the light of day on the Switch because everyone kind of marked that game a dud, and that game's great. I played that game like just a couple of years ago. That game's great. The control system is not perfect in any way, and for the first like hour you play, it's kind of annoying. But once you get used to it, the game is really fun. There's a lot of variety in the gameplay. I'd love to see that game on the Switch.
You know what we are missing though? You didn't mention, John, was the WarioWare Smooth Moves.
Oh wait, no, the one from the Wii.
The Wii U.
The
Wasn't there
Wii-
two? There was two. I think there was.
No,
Oh no,
Smooth-
Game and Wario.
Smooth
Game and
Moves.
Wario.
Yes,
Game
Smooth
and
Moves
Wario.
was on the Wii. That I think is one of my top 5 favorite Wii games. That game's amazing.
But how come? Where's the Wario game on the Switch, John?
Game and Wario wasn't as good. It didn't have the same formula as Smooth Moves.
No, it was odd, but those games are
I don't know
fun.
if I want to see
They're
it.
party games.
I mean, I wouldn't object to it, and I've sometimes wondered because I don't think we've ever seen this, if Nintendo re-released a Wii U game and just made it digital only and just cheaper, just port it over. I don't remember.
But that goes back to your Nintendo Land game. I think that needs to stay. I think I'm more just where's our WarioWare game for the Switch?
You want a new one?
Yeah.
But we're talking about ports, Drew.
Well, you know what,
about
John?
here.
I got excited for a
We're
second.
talking about Woolly World. Yoshi's Woolly World, Drew.
Never played
Let's
it.
see
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't played it. Maybe I should get the port when it comes out, John.
Oh, you haven't played that one? Oh, it's so good.
I tried playing Crafted World too. I couldn't get into it.
Oh, Crafted World is awesome.
You know what it is? It reminds me of Luigi's Mansion. I'm on a fucking tangent. I'm all over the place. But it reminds me of Luigi's Mansion when people complain about, I don't like it. It's Luigi's Mansion. I don't know what you people expect, a hack and slash game. It's the format of the game. Now, for me, every time a new Yoshi game comes out, I try to think I'm gonna like it. I think I just learned I don't like Yoshi games.
You might not like the format. Are you a collectathon kind of guy? Because it's a collectathon game. It's a game that
It depends.
do you remember when Mario Odyssey came out and there was people that complained, I don't know, maybe you did, about how short the game was?
I did not
right?
complain about that.
Well, I mean, you complain about a lot. But remember when people would say, I beat Mario Odyssey in like 2 days, right? Beating Mario Odyssey is just the beginning of Mario Odyssey.
You got to explore. So here's my problem with gaming is that I start out strong. I did this in Luigi's Mansion. The first 8 floors, I had every single gem before I moved on to the next floor. Wow. But after time, it's like, I kind of want to just beat the game. And here's my problem with gaming as a person. When I beat a game, I'm done. I don't go back.
When you beat a game, meaning when you roll credits?
When I roll, I'm done. I don't give a crap what there is for post game. I don't do it. So if I don't do it progressively playing up to it, then I don't do it.
That's interesting. See, I'm kind of the opposite.
I'm ready. I want to start my next game.
I do like to complete games. I especially like if I'm playing a game and I'm not loving it, I will still finish the game. I don't like to like just stop. But I usually go in wanting to 100% the game if possible. But the thing is, I actually like to beat the game because once I've beaten the game, going back and finishing everything is more satisfying than trying to do it as you go. And there's
Right.
another reason why you want to do that because like in a game like Luigi's Mansion, you're learning all these new techniques, and then as you get through the game, you're like kind of forced to master the use of these techniques. Like so you might find a boss and you don't know how to get past this boss. What do we do? And then you figure out, oh, if I hit this ZL button, it does this, and you're kind of forced to learn a mechanic that maybe you've been ignoring. And so it always pays to try to 100% a game after you've rolled the credits because by then you know every aspect of the game.
But what's the point of improving your skill set where there's nothing left? You build up a game because you need to learn these skills to beat a boss or beat the game. You did that. There's no
Because
for me,
oftentimes
yeah.
the fun okay, so look at Mario Odyssey, right? You didn't 100% that game, did you?
No, but the same thing. Like I was collecting every single moon I possibly could before I moved on to the next
Yeah,
world.
but
But I went back. I will say, John, that is one game I beat it and I went back. And then I tried going back and doing all the other dark side and collecting as many moons as I can just because I enjoyed the game itself. So I guess I'm lying. If there's a game that I really, really enjoy, I will. But perfect example is Breath of the Wild. I mean, I played the crap. I think I literally have 105 hours in that game. But I just never went and beat Ganon. I said, I'm going to wait. I'm going to do some more exploring. I'm going to go get every single, I'm going to do all of it. And then when I'm ready and I don't want to play this game anymore, I'll go fight Ganon.
And you haven't beaten Ganon yet?
Although I have.
Okay.
At the 100-hour mark, I said, all right, I think I had enough. Let me go beat the final thing and be done with it. Yeah.
Okay.
But so it depends.
All right, well, let's get back to the topic, which is Yoshi's Woolly World. And the reason why you play a Yoshi game is because like some people can try to like Yoshi games are not that hard, really. Like if you go through the levels and you just want to get to the end, they're pretty darn easy.
They are.
What makes the game's fun is finding like in a Yoshi game, finding every daisy, finding every coin that you need, getting your life hearts up, and 100%ing that game. And there's usually give you these little kind of like visual like treats when you do it. And like I know in Yoshi's Crafted World,
I did play Crafted World.
And every time you 100%ed an area, it like made flowers and stuff like that.
John,
like,
does that make you feel better?
Well, let's put it this way. I beat Yoshi's Crafted World, stuck with it, found every little thing, didn't look up a single thing, and got to the end, the final boss battle. It's a boss battle you don't fight. Like, I mean, if you beat the game and you roll the credits, you didn't do this boss fight, and you're missing content.
So
and maybe games shouldn't roll their credits too soon. But there's like multiple worlds that you don't see until you roll credits. There's boss battles you don't see till you roll credits. And
that's cool.
And in order to get the final achievement, I had to 3-star the final boss, and it took me hours. But I did it, and man, it was like so satisfying. And then that's when you can finally put a game down and feel like you got your money's worth, you got your value, Drew. And but like
so
so
let me ask you, you want this as a port? Would you pick it up?
No. So I mean, I 100% did this game. I did everything that there is to do. I think a lot of people. I think if you haven't played this game, man, I think Woolly World is actually a little better than Crafted World.
All right, so let me recap.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful 101, you want because you never played it.
Yes.
So you want that port. Xenoblade Chronicles X, you never played it before.
Yes.
Let's throw those two out. What is the one other game that you would pick up?
If I had to pick one, I just want Zombie.
Okay.
I just do.
Would you play it? Did you beat it the first time?
I beat Zombie U. I did not 100% it because I had to play in my basement. I couldn't have my kids around. So I wasn't gonna crawl through and try to find every little thing because that was just gonna keep me in a it was scary. It's very stressful game. I mean, you played it, right? I mean, it's incredibly
intense.
Stressful.
It is.
And
it's hard in the beginning. It's hard in general.
But if you give it to me on the Switch, and I can sit in my rocking chair with my headphones on and play with my headphones, I will go through that game and do 100% run and hopefully see some stuff. I don't know if there's anything amazing in it, but I would love to try to like 100% the game and enjoy some of those quality of life improvements that came after Zombie U. What about you? Is there one game
I
you
hate
would
to
just
say it,
really
but
love to see?
no. I'm moving forward. I'm ready. I don't know. I mean, like you said, at this point, I wanted Super Mario 3D World. I don't know if I would pick it up. Um, but at the same time, it's like,
What about a
all
Wind
right.
Waker?
Well,
Like a remaster. What
so
about a
so
Wind Waker?
so Wind Waker is my number one Zelda game. I mean, I'll play that every couple of years. So I played it obviously when the Wii U port came out.
Mm-hmm. And
Um,
that had quality of life improvements as well.
I just don't think they'll do that again. I just don't. I don't think they will. I hate to say it's dead because it's my favorite Zelda game hands down, but I think it's dead. I think they now.
I think they will if Breath of the Wild 2 doesn't come out this year. I think you might see a Wind Waker port.
No, I don't. I think people will be more upset than happy if you do that.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
I don't know why anybody would be upset about a port. That just drives me crazy. Like,
Because
don't buy it. Like,
I'm
don't
not
buy
going to
it.
act like I understand the video game design world because I don't. But I think there's people out there that think, well, that's resources they use to port where they could have put elsewhere. And I know that's a crazy thing, but it's true. People think that, right? And you could farm that work out. It should be minimal people, but
Yeah, they either farm it out or they have the interns do it. Like, the junior programmers, the
oh
new
yeah.
programmers, like to get their feet wet in the engines and all that jazz. Yeah, it's definitely not taking away resources.
I don't know though. I don't know. I mean,
How many sales do you think they would make if they put out a Wind Waker port?
2 million.
You think 2 million?
Yeah.
Do you think that would be worth it to Nintendo? Like if they knew they would get 2 million sales.
You know what? I think it depends at the price. If they put it out at $60, I think that's tough. But I agree it's a $60 game, but at what point? I mean, I've bought that game how many times? I think if they came out at a price point of like $40, yeah, I think they could.
But here's the thing. Wind Waker came out on what system? GameCube?
GameCube.
GameCube, did it sell well? No.
Let me
Not
get some
really.
numbers for you.
I don't think, yeah. I think it was like in the 20 millions. 20 to 30 millions, if I had to guess, I would say that's what it was. And then the Wii U, 14 million. We know that number very clearly. 14 million Wii U's. That's it. Not a lot of people have access to Wind Waker.
Well, I mean, whose fault is that?
Nintendo's.
I disagree.
But bring it out. I mean, if they didn't bring out Mario Kart 8, I mean, we're talking 18 million sales. And that's only the last time I saw it.
Well,
that game's still their biggest seller. And they have more sales than Wii U's existed. So, and that was a game that was so good. I mean, we all know that like Mario Kart 8 was amazing. Yeah. And it was sad that the sales weren't great because they had such a small base to start with. So
4.4 million on GameCube.
But how many GameCubes? Yeah, 4.4 million is low. Can you imagine that? They put out that's a really good Zelda game. 4.4 million sales. If they put that on the Switch, they could get 5 million sales in a few months. Easy. That's what I think. So
how many do you think?
5 million.
What did
Are you going to ask what it did on the Wii U?
No, I want to ask what Link Awakening did.
Oh, Link's Awakening on the Switch?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you it's over 5 million. If not, it's going to get there. I mean, look at Mario Kart.
But look at Link's Awakening as a game that a video gamer in the last 10 years probably never played. Where Wind Waker, played it. You played it twice.
That game wasn't even a port or a remake. That might as well have been a whole new game. There's so many people haven't seen that before.
But that's my point. So I think that's tough to compare Wind Waker versus Link's Awakening.
No, but I'm not. But I'm going to compare the sales, and I'm going to say Wind Waker can sell 5 million. I mean, that would be a game that I might double dip on because I didn't play it on the Wii U, and I didn't get those.
You haven't played it in a good 6-7 years, 8-10 years.
Yeah, I mean, I can see them putting it out, like I said, as a stopgap. If Breath of the Wild doesn't come out, if Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out this year, I can see them not wanting to like muddy the waters because they already have Link's Awakening, they already have Breath of the Wild. I mean, you don't want to get too crazy. And maybe they wait on Wind Waker. They do Breath of the Wild 2, and then they wait a year, and then they put out a Wind Waker. So I can see that happening too. But I think that's certainly possible. I think that might come out this year.
So they're going to do a port of a port.
They are going to re-release the port. That's what I'm saying. They're going to re-release the port. I think every game that was on the Wii U that does not completely depend on the Wii U, and Zombie U depended on the Wii U, and they changed it, I think can and should be ported because the audience was so small on the Wii U that it's just a travesty. Look at a game like Bayonetta 2. That came out on the Wii U. That had bad sales because out of 14 million Wii U's, how many of those Wii U's are owned by families for kids, right? There's a big segment, especially in the Wii U days. It was a system for kids. And, the Wii, I don't even know if they sold 1 million copies of Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U. But they outsold the Wii U copies on the Switch. And the Bayonetta 2 is, if you ask me, is the best game on the Switch because it's the best game on the Wii U because it's the best game ever.
John, you couldn't even go one episode without talking about it.
I plan on making this a steady part. But Bayonetta 2 was ported to the Switch just because all of the work that they put into Bayonetta 2 finally paid off on the Switch.
So let me throw this fact at you. Oh, this is kind of old news. This is as of September 30th. So we're missing Christmas. Link's Awakening only sold 3.1 million.
Oh, wait, September. When did it come out?
You're right. That's not right.
No, that game came out in September.
John, I don't know. I'm not good on the spot here. I don't have this data available.
But you don't even need to look at the data to know Link's Awakening is going to make a killing on the Switch.
But I'm saying I think Link's Awakening sells more than Wind Waker if they both came out.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to make a killing. It's going to make a killing. I mean, if you look at the numbers, right? Mario Kart's up to 19 million in sales, right? Smash Brothers, 15 million. Mario Odyssey, 15 million. Breath of the Wild, 14 million. Okay? I mean, we know these games are going to sell. Link's Awakening, if it's sitting at 3 million, it's gonna get better. People are gonna play it. You don't get 14 million people buying Breath of the Wild and nobody wants Link's Awakening.
So let me ask this. Let me put this last question on the spot for everyone, for you and to everyone else to think about. What's the next big game that can get into that 15 million sales range? What does Nintendo have to put out? Is it Odyssey 2? Is it? I mean, we know Breath of the Wild 2 is coming, so that's hard to say. But besides Breath of the Wild 2. What does Nintendo have to do to hit another 15 million?
Worldwide? Yeah, worldwide.
Because I know, I can tell you right now what it's going to be.
What do you think it's going to be?
It has to. Well, I don't think what I'm telling you what it would get those numbers would be a new Mario Kart.
Oh, of course. Do you think they're going to put out a Mario Kart?
But for some reason, I don't think a new Odyssey would.
I think Odyssey 2 would.
I think it would be like maybe 10, 9, but I don't think it would hit 15. I don't know.
And you're also making an assumption that the people that own a Switch today, how many people own a Switch right now? I think it's like they've had, 38, 40, like 50 million in sales on the Switch. And a lot of those people have multiple Switches. So let's just say, very conservatively, 40 million people have a Switch. I mean, that number is probably going to double over the next few years. Mario Odyssey is going to sell.
Yeah,
Mario Odyssey 2 is going to sell.
I've always wondered, John, how many, and this is going to sound odd, but how many people bought their kids, grandkids, whoever, a Switch, and how many Switches out of those total sales now are collecting dust? And that might sound odd, but I'm telling you, I bet you there's more than you think.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, Odyssey 2 is going to sell 15 million.
How many used Switches does GameStop own?
Oh, I mean, this is true of every system. There's tons of these consoles on Craigslist and Marketplace. Yeah, there's people that only buy a couple of games and stop playing. I mean, yeah, I mean, sure.
15 million Odyssey, how many of those games were completed?
Like beat?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them. I don't know how that's important, though. Mario is the signature franchise of Nintendo here, Drew. Like, Odyssey 2 is going to make a killing. Breath of the Wild 2 is going to make a killing.
I'm not debating that.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
I don't know how the hell we were done to this conversation, John.
I don't know how either, but Wind Waker 2022 for the Wii U. I'm going to call that one right now.
2022, you think?
2022.
December?
Yeah.
And wait, when does Breath of the Wild fit, you're saying?
I,
2021?
I think Breath of the Wild might get delayed till next year. But if it comes out this year, it's obviously going to be the holiday game. And yeah, I just don't think they want to put Wind Waker before, and especially with Link's Awakening having just come out, fairly recently. So I can see it being like the gap after Breath of the Wild too.
This is gonna sound odd because Wind Waker is my number one game for Zelda, but
Doesn't sound like it, Drew.
I almost feel like I'd almost expect to see like Link Between Worlds remake before, or even like one of the Phantom Hourglass games, whatever. I would almost expect to see that before Nintendo remakes and ports Wind Waker again.
So you're saying we're gonna see the 3DS ports before the rest of the Wii U?
I just think we've seen that game too many times. I think they I don't know. That's just me.
I don't know. That's just you, Drew.
Make a Wind Waker 2.
I don't know if we'll ever see that.
No, we won't. Anyways, well, I think we derailed this conversation, but I think it was good, solid talk.
I think Drew. I think we've learned a lot about your feelings about ports, and you're not the target market, but I think there's a big target market out there. It just ain't Drew.
It just ain't me, and I think we know it's John. It's John if he hasn't played it yet.
It's not Drew. It's me.
I want to play new games, not old games.
Did you say nude?
Well, yeah, that sounds fun too. But here I am saying that, and I'm playing a nude old game, The Witcher. So
you're playing a nude old game.
Yes. Yes. There's nudity and it's old. So I shouldn't be talking. All I've done is contradicted myself this whole episode, but I'm okay with that. All right. Well, then we want to thank the Nintendo dads for letting us host this show. And you can follow us and follow them and by subscribing to the Nintendo dads on iTunes, Castbox, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, all those, pretty much everywhere you can find a podcast. But John, what do we have planned or happening over the next couple of weeks?
Oh man, January 17th. I've been waiting for this for a while, and we brought it up during the show. Tokyo Mirage Sessions #FE is coming out on the 17th. I am planning all of my gaming around starting that game on that Friday. My body is ready. We also might be seeing a Nintendo Direct either this week or the week after. I hope it's this week. I have a feeling next week is going to be the week, in the week leading up to Mirage Sessions. We need a calendar for the rest of the year. We only know I think just a couple of days we know Animal Crossing. We know a bunch of games coming out, but we don't have a lot of dates. And I think with 2020, we're up to 50 million Switches sold. A lot of people have gotten this for Christmas. Now's the time to say, hey, thank you for buying our system during the holidays. Here's what we have planned for you in 2020. I don't think a Breath of the Wild 2 announcement would be in the Direct, but maybe we'll just talk about that next time. I think we're going to see it, and I'm excited for it. I'm always excited. It's like Christmas every time it happens.
It is, and I think we could have some interesting Animal Crossing talk in the near future as well, John.
It's happening.
It will happen.
We're definitely getting a Direct before Animal Crossing, but
absolutely.
Hopefully.
Well, everybody, thank you for listening to our first episode. We hope you enjoyed it. And good night, dads.
Good night, dads.